This video is an overview of the syllabus for MUS-160, Sound Engineering 1, for the spring semester of 2019 at SUNY Broome. Hi, my name is Robert Greaves, and I am the instructor for this course. And let me mention up front that if you need to contact me, my email address can be found on a hard copy of the syllabus. It is gravesrw@sunybroome.edu. However, notice that my last name is not spelled the way you might think, so I suggest you double-check a syllabus for the correct spelling. During office hours, I can be found either in the campus services lounge or somewhere nearby. The hours will be posted on the faculty office door. Now, this course requires a textbook, Modern Recording Techniques, 9th edition, by David Miles Huber. The syllabus has additional details about the text. You will also need a USB flash drive with at least 8 gigabytes of available storage. By the way, do not wait for your financial aid to come in before obtaining these materials. I always advise students that they should avoid trying to get through any semester by using the financial aid offered for that particular semester. Instead, a far better strategy is to obtain your class materials as best you can with other resources before financial aid is distributed. Now, financial aid is released far too late in the semester to actually help you. It works more like a reimbursement. So my advice is find some other way to get course materials for at least one semester so that when your financial aid finally does come in, save it and use that financial aid to obtain course materials at the very beginning of the following semester. If you can manage to pull that off, even if only to a greater degree each semester, you will find getting all the required materials far more timely. Let's discuss the expected outcomes of a successful student. 1. A successful student will be able to explain specific transduction designs used to manufacture dynamic, ribbon, and condenser microphones. They should also be able to explain the preferred use for each of those designs in recording studios, for live performances, and other settings. 2. I expect a successful student can place microphones to record several different instruments, including a drum kit. 3. Successful students can describe the steps used in analog to digital and in digital to analog conversion, and explain how sample rate, bit depth, and dither specifically affect the quality of digital audio. 4. I expect that a successful student will be able to set up a Pro Tools session with tracks of different types, with correct I/O assignments, set tempos, and, of course, record. 5. A successful student can edit, mix, and then export a completed Pro Tools project. 6. Successful students can describe basic signal processing as used in the studio, on a stage, and for front of house. This includes using channel strips, groups, aux sends, returns, and various FX signal routing options. 7. I expect the successful student can define technical terms such as compression, rarefaction, amplitude, wavelength, reflection, absorption, diffraction, and more terms as commonly used by educated sound professionals. 8. A successful student can list various design concerns relating to walls, floors, ceilings, and other studio structures when building or remodeling a recording studio. 9. A successful sound engineering student can identify anatomical structures of the inner and outer ear with a rough understanding of their role in the human ability to hear sounds. 10. I expect a successful student can discuss the relevance of the Fletcher-Munson curve and what it implies about useful and not useful sound pressure levels while performing, while tracking, and while mixing. 11. A successful student can explain the difference between balanced and unbalanced cables, as well as the difference between professional, prosumer, and consumer line-level signals. So, if at the end of the semester you are able to meet all of these expectations, I think you can expect an A. Well, let's talk a moment about the work you will do. Need I say, of course, all coursework is required, and you should know that I reserve the right to give a negative grade for any coursework omitted or not taken seriously. There will be 3 exams, and strangely, none of them count towards your final grade. However, corrections to those exams do count for 50% of your grade. You might assume my exams will be easy because they are take-home exams. But, and this is important to know, my tests are very hard and my grading style is draconian. The vast majority of students fail my tests. Nonetheless, I give generous credit when you finally turn in test corrections. So a high grade is achievable for those who do the corrections. But I should warn you, any questions left unanswered on the take-home tests, even if corrected later, cannot get full credit. Full credit is only for corrections made to questions for which you made an excellent attempt to answer when first taking the exam. Let's discuss attendance. Consistent attendance is crucial to your success. Neither missed lectures nor labs can be made up. If you must miss a class or a lab, you might be able to attend that missed class in a different section of the course, but don't count on it. I also expect you to read the relevant assigned chapter from the textbook prior to the lecture based on that chapter. Lectures are intended to clarify or expand upon what you have already read. I'm not inflexible, so we can work around complications, illnesses, and such, but only if your efforts otherwise impress me that you are serious about learning. At the end of the semester, I am open to negotiating your final grade. However, I do not negotiate grades or assignments with any student who has been repeatedly absent, habitually late, or often inattentive in class. Also, take note now that if you miss a class that is designated on the syllabus as a lab, you get a 0 for that lab. I can and will forgive a missed lab, maybe 2, but I just don't have it in me to do more. Some classes are specifically designated as Pro Tools labs, but keep in mind, classes focused on Pro Tools cover just the basics. This is not enough. So you are expected to be in the Pro Tools lab on your own time, exploring Pro Tools to familiarize yourself with its design and capabilities. This is not a course on Pro Tools. Nonetheless, your self-motivated familiarity with Pro Tools beyond the basics is essential, and as you learn Pro Tools on your own, the more you persuade me that you actually have a potential as an audio engineer. There is a final project required for this course. You must create a Pro Tools project by the end of the semester worth 20% of your grade. Detailed expectations are on the last page of your syllabus and will be more clearly described later in the semester. Now, our class meets in the Pro Tools lab located in Campus Services Room 112. This room will also be open and available for your use during non-class hours. You are expected to spend personal time in that room learning more about Pro Tools through your personal experimentation. The exact hours this room will be open will be posted on the classroom door by the end of the second week of classes. Both in-class and unscheduled outside of class use of our Pro Tools lab is considered, when I calculate, 30% of your final grade. Make a note on your calendar. The spring semester of 2019 starts on January 28 and ends on May 21. There will be no class on February 18 nor on April 9. And spring break is during the week of April 22 through 26th. One section of this course meets on both Mondays and Wednesdays, and another section meets on both Tuesdays and Thursdays. Both sections run from noon until 1:40 p.m. On the syllabus, you will find listed the exact dates specific topics will be discussed or what lab will be undertaken. Please refer to your syllabus often to know what is planned for each day, and of course, modifications to the syllabus might become necessary due to weather, illness, technical issues, or other unforeseen problems. I look forward to discovering what we will accomplish together. Thank you for allowing me the privilege of being a part of your educated quest for professional excellence as an audio engineer.